Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I am back for some more competitive double battles in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. In this video, I'm going to be using a team centered around Snow with Abomasnow and Cetitan. The weather condition previously known as Hail got changed to Snow in Generation 9, and I actually did a video covering those changes, so if you haven't seen that or are interested, I'll link it down in the description below. But Cetitan is one of the brand new Generation 9 Pokemon. It gets access to Slush Rush, which allows it to double its speed under Snow, and so naturally it synergizes really nicely with Abomasnow. As always, I'll do a quick breakdown of the team, but if you want to just skip to the battles, check out the timestamps linked in the description below. And thank you so much as always for watching. If you enjoy, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it, and it helps me and the channel out a lot. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Aaron, and I do competitive double/VGC content all the time, and I love battling. And so if that's something you're interested in, it would mean a lot if you consider subscribing. But thanks so much as always for watching, and let's talk about the team. First of all, huge thank you to Schmonsta for building and sharing this team. I've linked their Twitter down in the description below, as well as a rental and a paste. The first Pokemon to talk about here is most definitely Cetitan. This Pokemon has an amazing base HP stat and a really solid base attack stat as well. As you can see, its defenses are somewhat mediocre, and that's exactly why you have Assault Vest on it. Abomasnow also sets up the snow for it, and with the new buff to Hail/Snow, you get a defense increase as well. And so, yeah, this is just maximized to deal as much damage as possible. You've got Ice Spinner, Heavy Slam, Terra Blast, and Ice Shard. And so you're going to be using Ice Spinner a lot, but turning into Terra Ground is really valuable. This allows you to cover for fire types such as Arcanine and Torkoal. And you have enough speed investment where when you are in Snow with Slush Rush, you're able to outspeed Dragapult and things that speed creep Dragapult by just a little bit, which is a nice little touch here with the spread. Otherwise, max attack, and then the rest is in HP. And so, yeah, the Cetitan is often paired with the Abomasnow here. This Abomasnow is just max HP, max special attack with Aurora Veil. This is really nice because with Abomasnow and Cetitan, often because of Focus Sash, it's hard to actually like KO one or the other, and you often will just get up an Aurora Veil. Cetitan with Aurora Veil and Snow plus Assault Vest is just so difficult to KO. And so this is just a really consistent lead, especially if your opponent doesn't have any weather control like a Tyranitar or a Torkoal on their team. If they do have weather on their team, I'd be a little bit more hesitant in leading this duel, but if they don't, I think it's just a super viable option to consider. So, general idea is then, okay, you set up Aurora Veil, Cetitan just does a lot of damage, and then you can clean up games with either, like, Hatterene under Trick Room, for example. Hatterene and NED is one of the other combinations with this team, and this is something that, you know, was very common throughout Sword and Shield. It's important to note that this got nerfed a fair amount because neither Pokemon get access to Expanding Force anymore, but despite that, it's still really solid, and you can just often lead Hatterene and NED for Trick Room, right? And so the idea is you've got Psychic Seed, you've got a good mix between defense and special defense, and the idea is to just enable Hatterene, you know, follow me into Trick Room and then just go for like Helping Hand plus attacks. Light Screen is a nice addition here, which I feel like people generally don't really consider on Hatterene, and so your opponents often won't play around the damage reduction that you get from it. And so, yeah, NDD plus Hatterene is a fairly solid go-to lead, especially if your opponent's team is like hyper offensive, hyper fast, and has, you know, just all like the Pokemon that are base 100 speed or over, for example. And so, yeah, pretty classic here. The Hatterene is Fire Terra, and so you just get to do more damage and also resist Torkoal's fire type attacks, which I think is really important since Torkoal is going to be fairly annoying for this to deal with. But, you know, one thing you can do is then like change into Fire Terra and then have Life Orb Psychic to deal with Torkoal, which is pretty sweet. Finally, you've got the Flutter Mane here, and so this is just the standard modest max set, just to maximize the damage output that you have from it. It's Steel Terra here, and so that can be fairly good defensively, but also can be good offensively, as you have Terra Blast here. Iron Hands is the final Pokemon, and this is just Fake Out plus 3 attacks. You've got White Herb as the item here, and that's helpful in not getting, or in getting rid of the defense drops from close combat when you use that attack. And so, I think what's really cool about this team is that they're just like, you know, some obvious pairs that work well with each other. Abomasnow plus the Cetitan, Hatterene plus the NDD, and honestly, Iron Hands plus Flutter Mane alone is like also a decently solid lead where you can have Fake Out pressure and just deal max damage with this as quickly as possible. And so definitely a lot of ways you can play with it. Like, I think I generally consider leading Abomasnow, Cetitan, or Hatterene, NDD. And then in the back, like, you could consider just the other two. It's interesting because if you go with NDD, Hatterene, it feels a little bit weird to bring the Cetitan, but Cetitan's speed isn't exactly even that high, and so this Pokemon can operate under Trick Room depending on the matchup. You just have to be a little bit careful about making sure you don't have Abomasnow out next to it, or if Abomasnow is out, Cetitan doesn't care about moving last under Trick Room. But yeah, like if you want to go the Trick Room route, you could also go NDD, Hatterene, Abomasnow, and Iron Hands, and just potentially go for a Terra on like Iron Hands, for example, or a Hatterene. And so, yeah, The fast mode is more like Abomasnow with the Cetitan and then Flutter Mane plus like the Iron Hands, for example. And I've had games where I'm practiced in leading like the Iron Hands plus Flutter Mane, get some good damage across the board, and then clean up things with Abomasnow and Cetitan. Cetitan does have to be careful about things like Intimidate and Burns, obviously, and so sometimes if you lead this Pokemon early on, it can be rendered fairly useless, and so sometimes it might be better to like clean up things that threaten Cetitan early and then try to sweep with this in the end game when your opponent just doesn't have enough resources to deal with it. So I'm really excited to try out this new Snow combination. I did a video talking about the buffs to Snow fairly recently as well, so it's nice to try to see it in action here. Alright, we've got Meowscarada, Sylveon, Dragonite, Grimmsnarl, Arcanine, and Gastrodon. And I'll tell you what, I feel like this looks pretty decent for the Abomasnow and Cetitan combination. It's mainly the Intimidate from Arcanine. I mean, Arcanine in general, I think is just somewhat annoying. But I think we can go with Fluttermane and Iron Hands in the back. Yeah, I think like one thing I like about this team is just that they're very clear synergies. Cetitan, Abomasnow, Hatterene, Entity, and then you can flex these two, and they're just generally strong Pokemon to bring as well. So I am down for this. I think the main thing to worry about is the Arcanine, right, intimidating us and also potentially being able to burn us with the Will-O-Wisp. Honestly, I think Entity and Hatterene is definitely an acceptable combination to go with here as well, but I just, one, really want to try the Hail, especially because they don't have weather control, and two, they only have one ice resistance in Arcanine. And even with Arcanine, like, I could, you know, one, we have the defense boost from the Snow. I think I might have said Hail earlier, I'm just so used to that. And then two, we, like, if Arcanine's general offense typically is Flare Blitz, and so then you would take a lot of recoil in return. So they're going to go with Grimmsnarl and Arcanine. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, with this, it's interesting to consider switching out Cetitan immediately. Even a double switch, I think, can be acceptable, because if we can knock out the Arcanine earlier on, then I think Cetitan is very well positioned to sweep in the endgame. Could see a Will-O-Wisp going onto that slot. I don't hate the idea of setting up Aurora Veil here. Aurora Veil and go into Fluttermane, I think is not a bad idea. I'm down for that. I just think Cetitan has so much sweeping potential into my opponent's team in this late game that I don't want to, like, just have it get burnt. Because, like, let's say they go for Reflect and Will-O-Wisp turn 1, Cetitan is just doing, like, no damage at all, right? Whereas right now, if they go for Reflect and Will-O-Wisp, well, that's fine. I get my screens up. Fluttermane is into a pretty nice position now. I can click Dazzling Gleam with it. Okay. Ah, they're actually going to go for Thunder Wave here, and unfortunately for them, Fluttermane dodges it. And Heat Wave! You know, it's interesting because I was talking about how, yeah, normally with the Arcanine, you would want to run Flare Blitz, but my opponent actually, yeah, running the special set here, which is going to help them a decent amount, so that's pretty cool to see. And I get Aurora Veil up. Them having Thunder Wave is also quite annoying here, so I think here I'm just going to try to go for... I could switch out. I could protect. But honestly, I'd rather have Abomasnow Faint to get a free switch in right now. And then just Dazzling Gleam. Grimm's going to go for another Thunder Wave. That's fine. We really want to KO Grimmsnarl, though, before Cetitan hits the field because they have the Heat Wave. And we go for Snarl. Okay. So I can bring out the Iron Hands now. Yeah, get parried. That is very sad. If you have Snarl and Heat Wave, though, I almost want to think that it is a Assault Vest Arcanine set. So honestly, I'm kind of down to Terra. Oh, Terra Ground also makes us immune to Thunder Wave. I didn't even think about that. Oh, wait, that's going to be sick. Let's see if they stay in. If they stay in, I potentially can just pick up a double KO here. Like, Cetitan is very well positioned right now. We set up the Aurora Veil. The Snow is up, so I have the defense boost as well. And Fluttermane is not at much risk of taking damage right now either. So my dream would be for Arcanine to stay in. It does stay in, so now I'm ground type, making me immune to Thunder Wave. They did not go for Reflect yet. I would think they would just be incentivized to click Thunder Wave onto us right now. But actually, one downside is by going for this, now I lose my Ice typing, so I don't get the defense boost anymore. But with the Aurora Veil up already, I don't really need it. Beautiful. Thunder Wave does not affect the Cetitan. We are going to get Terra Blast off here. I don't know if that's enough for a one-hit KO. I honestly kind of expect Arcanine to survive because it's a bulky Pokemon, but that is a one-hit KO. Let's go, Cetitan! Yes! Let's go. And Fluttermane does not get fully paralyzed here. Gets the single target Dazzling Gleam off. Excellent. Snow continues to fall. Ever so gently. So yeah, this is one of the cool things about the ground Cetitan. And it just is one of the cool things about, I think, the Terra mechanic overall, right? So we have Heavy Slam here as well. Yeah, I think here I'm down to just Heavy Slam and Dazzling Gleam again. Like, Flutter Mane is honestly not even at much risk here, and I don't want to really switch into Iron Hands because it's weak to Sylveon. And I have Aurora Veil up right now, so like their damage output is really going to be pretty negligible. Like, this is one of those classic scenarios where it's like, okay, now you have Grimmsnarl out, but it's not really doing very much for you damage-wise. A parting shot there could have been fairly annoying, I think, to at least pivot out, but Cetitan will get the Heavy Slam off into Sylveon. No way. That's got to be a crit, right? Yeah, it was like, they just set up Reflect. But, I mean, Sylveon's really not doing too much into an Assault Vest Cetitan with the Aurora Veil up as well, so... And Flutter Mane would have finished it off with the Dazzling Gleam, although I guess I did end up getting fully paralyzed there, but I am so impressed by Cetitan. That's exactly why I wanted to conserve it. Gastrodon is my opponent's final Pokemon here. We still have one turn of Snow and Aurora Veil. If I Ice Shard here, actually, they can't set up Light Screen. Well, I guess the question is whether or not Ice Shard KOs through Reflect. I'm actually not sure about that. So I'd rather Ice Spinner here, I think, in a Gastrodon and just Dazzling Gleam. Oh, interesting. The Grimmsnarl here is not going to try to go for another screen. Okay. And Flutter Mane is still faster. Beautiful. So we KO Grimmsnarl. And then they go for Ice Beam. Okay. Yeah, with the Aurora Veil and the Assault Vest, that does not even do... I mean, did just about a quarter-ish or so, right? So Gastrodon has leftovers. It's going to heal back a little bit each turn, but that's fine. Regardless of what Terra type it is here, I think 3v1 is just entirely too hard for it to win this endgame. So, just go for Ice Spinner and Shadow Ball here. Has a chance of dropping their special defense. Cool, I think Shadow Ball should finish it off here if we don't get fully paralyzed. We do not. There it is. Gastrodon. Wow, that's impressive bulk from Gastrodon. I mean, I guess I did get hit by the Snarl earlier, so there's Chilling Water onto Cetitan, but this thing with an Assault Vest is just so tanky. Beautiful. Yeah, and in the end, like, the Grimmsnarl, like, they just didn't really have too many good Terra options, I feel like, and honestly, their team was just fairly weak to Hail as well. Or Snow. Keep calling it Hail. Just Ice Spinner and Shadow Ball again. Yeah. But it was funny because I spent all of this time talking about, like, Flare Blitz Arcanine, and then my opponent proves me wrong with Heat Wave Arcanine. So I am curious if it was an Assault Vest set. I mean, you could just run Heat Wave and Snarl with, like, a Berry, Will-O-Wisp Protect, but I was surprised to see them not go for Will-O-Wisp, but it makes sense because they were prioritizing paralyzing us rather than burning us. But honestly, a Paralyzed Cetitan wouldn't have even been that bad there. I think the key thing in that game was my opponent not switching out Arcanine. If Arcanine had switched out, then you'd be able to bring it back in for Intimidate, but makes sense, right? They probably just weren't expecting us to be Ground Terra. Although, like, yeah, because we had set up the Aurora Veil, even a Heat Wave from the Arcanine really wouldn't have done too much to Cetitan. So a switch out there could have been really bad, but as soon as Arcanine went down, we were super, super well positioned. So, yeah, that's one game in the books for Abomasnow and Cetitan here. Okay, for this one, we've got Dragonite, Gyarados, Amoonguss, Flutter Mane, Arcanine, and Champao. They don't have great weather control again, so I'm kind of down to just go with the Abomasnow plus the Cetitan combination. Honestly, we could look towards closing out the game with Hattering Entity. Their Psychic Fairy resistances aren't great, but I think Flutter Mane is also acceptable here. Let's see. Okay, if I lead Abomasnow plus Cetitan, what's annoying? Like the dual Intimidates, probably. I could take an interesting route of just going Hattering Entity immediately to set up Trick Room, and then close out the game with Abomasnow Cetitan. I kind of want to try that out. It seems a little bit weird because, of course, if you end up bringing Cetitan out while the snow is up and you're under Trick Room, it just kind of works against you. But we have enough bulk generally between Abomasnow, Hattering, and Entity where I think we can stall out Trick Room, like our own Trick Room. The main thing here is they just have double Intimidate between Gyarados and Arcanine, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Arcanine having Snarl here would also be kind of annoying for us. So it's going to be Champao and Arcanine. Okay. Something like Snarl and just an Ice type attack here would be fairly strong from their end. But, you know, the interesting thing here is we can just bring Cetitan out normally. We don't necessarily need to set up the snow for it, right? So, turn 1, I think I am just going to go for Trick Room into Follow Me. And I kind of expect them to have Snarl here on Arcanine, but even so, it's not the end of the world. I think Fluttermane would have been decent into this, but I don't know who I would have wanted to lead it with. Maybe Iron Hands. Or just Ice Spinner, yep. Oh, we actually took that a lot better than I expected. It does get rid of the Psychic Terrain, but that's fine. I don't think it's really that crucial for us. I mean, it does decrease our damage output, so that's a little bit annoying, but so be it. Get Trick Room up now. Okay. Chien-Pao here, protecting or switching makes sense. Still down to Dazzling Gleam, though. I could set up Light Screen. It's honestly not even that helpful this turn. Dazzling. I think I'm down to just Dazzling here and Follow Me, honestly. We'll see if Chien-Pao protects. Follow Me just also helps against random Sucker Punches onto either slot. Yep, there it is. Beautiful. So we don't get caught off guard by that at least, which is good. Hatterene will get the Dazzling Gleam off. Nice damage onto Chien-Pao. Take our little Life Orb damage. And they're going to Flare Blitz here. That works for me. And Indeedee is going to faint. Okay. Yeah, so this is interesting because I can actually just bring out the Cetitan outright. I just wonder if Sucker Punch KOs Hatterene. Like, I wouldn't expect it to. Yeah. I think Ice Spinner getting rid of Terrain, though, meaning and Snarl means that, like, my matchup in Arcanine isn't as ideal. Now I'm mainly worried about this pivoting into a Moongus. This is an interesting spot to be in. I think I don't mind going for Psychic onto Arcanine, Terra, and then Terra Blast onto it as well to cover for an Amoonguss switch out. They're going to stay in, though. Okay. That's okay with me. That's very okay with me. Although the problem is then I could have maybe angled for a double KO, but Chien-Pao staying on the field isn't necessarily terrible for me, and then, unless they went for an Ice-type attack onto Cetitan this turn, which would be kind of surprising. Chien-Pao protects! Oh, that's really good. I mean, Arcanine's not protecting here. Sweet. So Hatterene gets Psychic off. Nice damage. That was mainly to cover for a Moongus coming in. And we get Terra Blast off. Beautiful. So this is one of the fun things, right? Like, Cetitan operates under Trick Room as well. It's not exactly the fastest Pokemon, but with the speed boost, it can be faster. Arcanine will faint. Looking good, looking good. Moongus coming in right now is probably what scares me the most, but it's actually just going to be Dragonite, which I think is a good sign for us. 2 turns of Trick Room left. So I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam here. And... ooh, I can Ice Shard into you. I mean, I would guess that's enough for a KO. Yeah, I'm down to Ice Shard here. I don't want Chien-Pao to get a Sucker Punch off. They're going to go for Terra. I think Terra normal Dragonite makes sense here. Yeah. So this is interesting, right? Because now with Abomasnow and the defense increase from the snow, that would actually be really valuable into this late game Dragonite. So they're going to go for Extreme Speed here, but that's fine. Onto Hatterene, yep. They got a crit there, but I would expect that to KO, honestly, if they were Life Orb or Choice Banded anyway. I'm going to go for Ice Shard here just to avoid a potential Sucker Punch. Conserve our HP a little bit. Chien-Pao faints. Perfect. And now with the Abomasnow, I can set up an Aurora Veil, and we also get the snow increase in the defense for both Pokemon, which is pretty sweet. There is still one more turn of Trick Room, but I don't even think that's necessarily bad for me. And Fluttermane is their last one. Okay. Cool. So, I think here I definitely want to set up the Aurora Veil and just go for Heavy Slam onto Fluttermane. I guess my main fear here is Extreme Speed plus a Fluttermane attack KOing us, but I wouldn't expect it to. So here's Extreme Speed. Yep, they're going to target Cetitan. Oh, was that a crit? No, that wasn't even a crit. Oh my gosh. That's really impressive damage. That's got to be choice banded then, I think. See if I can survive with the Salt Vest here. I would expect to. Okay, we survived with 16 HP. And Flutter Mane's Life Orb, so I'd expect to get the KO here with Heavy Slam. Oh, this is getting really close. It's getting really, really close. I can't protect here. Trick Room expires. That's got to be Choice Band Dragonite. I'm just going to Blizzard here. Extreme Speed has higher priority than Ice Shard anyway, so might as well just go for Ice Spinner if for some reason they targeted Abomasnow, but they should know I'm Assault Vested based off the damage output. Yeah. The question is whether or not 2 single target Blizzards will do enough to KO the Dragonite. We also have the freeze chance from it. Oh, this is where if we had the extra hail damage would have added up. Okay, wait, how many turns of Aurora Veil do I have left? I might have to click Giga Drain here instead to heal back, since Blizzard isn't a guaranteed 2-hit KO here. The idea is to, like, hopefully take 2 extreme speeds now that we have the snow defense increase as well as the Aurora Veil. Oh, okay, so wait, that did way less than I expected. It did so much to Cetitan earlier. This was such a fun game, though. Oh my gosh, we got to bring out Trick Room and the Cetitan combo. Cool, so now we just need to avoid a critical hit and we're good. Blizzard will always do more damage and guarantee us the KO, so no crit, and we win. If we crit, we lose, and that's fine. I am happy enough with the game. And no crit there. Excellent. Okay. Oh, it was so clutch, though. This is Titan surviving both the Extreme Speed and the Shadow Ball. I just took so much more damage from the Extreme Speed than I expected, like, on the Titan initially. But, yeah. I am really, really happy to showcase how getting a defense boost from Snow can give you some value here. So, that was a super, super fun game. Oh, boy. This is going to be an interesting one. They've got Farigiraf, Hariyama, Torkoal, Mousehold, Brute Bonnet, and Pincurchin. So, we both have weather, and we both have terrain control, which scares me a good amount. The problem is that their Torkoal is essentially going to be the slowest thing, so we don't really want Trick Room to go up. Defense boosts aren't really that great. If they wanted to get up Trick Room, will they lead? Farigiraf. Yeah, it's a fairly big problem for me. I think they just inherently have a better matchup here, so we gotta figure out our best way to play around it. The problem is that Torkoal just crushes me under Trick Room. Hatterene can at least tear into fire, I suppose. I'm thinking Iron Hands Hatterene lead to fake out their Hariyama should they lead it, and then, like, Indeedee for Psychic Terrain Control. I mean, Cetitan's just not good in this matchup. So, we're going to drop it. But I'm going to bring Abomasnow here still. So the idea is basically, I don't want them to get Trick Room up because their Pokemon are just slower. Like, Torkoal especially, under Trick Room is just a menace. And so I want to do everything in my power to deny them Trick Room. And this lead is one possible way. They're going to go with Mousehold, though. Okay. Basically, there's mind games here already, because essentially, I can, like, click Trick Room to reverse their Trick Room on turn 1. It's probably going to be Terra Hatterene in this game, I think, to deal Torkoal. I also can't even fake out here, but I can close combat. I think, honestly, the route I'm going to take is just close combat plus Dazzling Gleam, turn 1. Oh! Uh-oh. I'm getting population bombed. Okay, I think it's fine. Oh, I didn't expect that. I really thought they would go for, like, Follow Me, but that makes a lot of sense. Well, that's the risk of not going for Follow Me. We actually just crit them. I wonder if Close Combat and Dazzling Gleam would have actually just done enough there. Probably not. That's one way to get out of this, I guess. And White Herb restores our stats back to normal. Cool. Dazzling Gleam onto the mouse. Well, that is not how I expected turn 1 to play out at all. I was expecting them to go for, like, Follow Me. We KO that. They bring out Bonnet now. Huh. Now I almost want to set up Trick Room, weirdly enough. But, like, Torkoal surely is their last one, right? I mean, like, now you can Population Bomb into Hatterene. I could Terra Steel here. To be honest, I don't think the Terras I have here are good. In the back. I'm kind of down to Terra Steel. Close Combat. And Dazzling. I don't even know if they were, like, they wanted to click Trick Room on turn 1, but maybe they were expecting me to Close Combat into the Mouse Hold slot. Okay, so you're gonna get Terra Hariyama. Or Iron Hands, I should say. Yep, there's Population Bomb into Hatterene. See if you hit every time. I'm always curious about the item here, whether or not it's Wide Lens or the loaded dice. Okay. We are faster. That's cool. So we get Close Combat off. Ah, there's the Focus Sash. Okay. This is such an interesting match. I'm pretty worried about beating late game Torkoal now. They're actually just going to click Spore. Okay. I mean, this Population Bomb Mouse Hold is crushing me. Like, I don't have resistances. I can bring out Indeedee here. Yeah, like, this is not, like, good late game damage. Maybe Cetitan would have been better here. If I had Cetitan, actually, it'd be pretty nice to just switch it in. Okay, I'll bring out Abomasnow. So the Snow's set up. I'm going to switch out into Indeedee. And Blizzard. Wonder if they switch into Torkoal. I would expect to survive Population Bomb on Abomasnow. So this will set up Psychic Terrain for us. I can now redirect from the Mouse Hold as well. But, like, Torkoal can totally sweep the Indeedee Abomasnow Iron Hands combination that I have right now, which is a problem. So they're going to bomb again. 16 damage. So even if they hit 10 times off that damage roll, we should survive. Okay, yeah, I did 80 exactly. Oh, but I get crit. Oh, no. I think we're still okay. Dude. I just got crit 3 times by the Mouse Hold. No way. Okay, well, this gets really interesting because the thing is, I should outspeed Torkoal if that's their final Pokemon, and single target Psychic honestly does pretty sizable damage. I don't think that's Torkoal, though, right? Is it? Oh, no, it is. Okay. Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to Psychic here. It probably makes sense to change the weather, because Iron Hands isn't going to get another attack off anyway. So we get a single target Psychic, and we had the Psychic Seed boost, and so hopefully Indeedee... I mean, that was just so... I can't believe Abomasnow almost fainted there. This Mouse Hold is a menace. Indeedee, single target Psychic, in Psychic Terrain. Oh, that's a 2-hit KO in itself. Nice. And they go for Eruption, which we should survive barring a crit. Excellent. Okay, nice job, Indeedee. But yeah, I mean, I did get the crit turn 1 onto the... Farafrig. I still want to call it Faragiraffe. And I assume they were trying to set up Trick Room there. Just wonder how much Close Combat plus the Dazzle combination would have actually done there. Now we can just Giga Drain and Psychic. That was a wild game, though. Especially because, yeah, once again, I just wasn't expecting the Mouse Hold set there. I think what's interesting, though, is I could have reversed Trick Room on turn 2, given that they targeted the Iron Hand slot, had they actually set up Trick Room with Farafrig on turn 1. Because I could have then outsped the Mouse Hold with both of my Pokemon under Trick Room. So then Iron Hands could potentially angle for a KO there. And then reverse Trick Room. And then if Trick Room gets reversed, I feel like Torkoal outside of Trick Room is just a lot weaker for my opponent. But yeah, that was definitely a game. Okay, this one has a bunch of Pokemon that I haven't really fought against too much against. The Paradox Hydreigon, Paradox Delibird, and Tauros. Tauros is a really interesting one, like the new regional forms. And then Golden Go as well. So they have Intimidate from Arcanine. Kind of worried about Golden Go. Like, how am I going to beat that? Feels like maybe Flutter Mane. I guess I could try out Abomasnow and Cetitan here. With Flutter Mane in the back. Hatterene and Indeedee aren't terrible, but they're not great either. Alright. For this one, I think I'm going to go with Hail and then the 2 Paradox Pokemon and see how it plays out. We'll give that a try. But Cetitan here does have to worry about Intimidate from Arcanine, of course. And it has... like, the Tauros, actually, I just don't really have any experience fighting against, so we're about to learn a thing or two. Basically, when I approach new generations, you know, I try to look at every new Pokemon, understand their stats and moves, but until I actually fight against it, for me, it's just hard to remember, like, how people will actually run them competitively. And since this is my first time fighting against it, it's just going to be value experience. So, we'll see. But on the team, like, yeah, Paradox Hydreigon is an interesting one. Does, like, hasn't really seen that much play relative to the other Paradox Mons. Golden Go, I think, is very good. Just great ability, great stats. Can potentially even boost up via Nasty Plot. And there it is, Golden Go and the Paradox Hydreigon. Okay. Booster energy. What are you getting? Speed. I don't know my speed tier super well here. Like, I don't know if it outspeeds this Titan now, which would be a problem. Because what I want to do is just Aurora Veil and Ice Spinner immediately. What's my alternative? Terra and then Terra Ground? I don't think that's a terrible option, quite frankly. Especially if this is a defensive. Terra. Okay, let's go for it. Aurora Veil, Terra, Terra Blast, Golden Go. Oh, that switches. That works even better. Into Arcanine, though. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so you get the quick Intimidate off. And then Golden Go offensively is really good into what we have here. So I expect to not KO now thanks to Intimidate. And then they'll be able to make it rain, which is not great for me. And I conserved my, or I already utilized my Terra. I guess the good thing is it's a ground Terra, though. So, like, your Steel type attack shouldn't do that much, hopefully. Let's see how much Terra Blast does here. Honestly, I have no idea. Like, I would expect, I don't know, 60%-ish. Wow. Right around the money. Oh, and they Nasty Plot. Wait, hold on. That's not going to be great for them. But if they're Ghost Terra, then they can just transform into Ghost next turn. And that would be kind of rough for me. Because then I don't hit you for super effective. Yeah, they can definitely make it rain right now. For example, Ghost Terra make it rain here would be very bad for me, I think. It's actually worth maybe conserving this Pokemon. I don't think Iron Hands is actually that helpful for me. On the other hand, if they Flare Blitz, they would take Recoil. Okay, I think I will just Blizzard and Terra Blast here. See what they go for. We do have Assault Vest and Aurora Veil up, by the way, so it's not like a Make It Rain would really KO Cetitan, but it's mainly like Cetitan now just doesn't do as much damage as I'd like it to do, and then the Arcanine slot can put on a lot of pressure between Snarl and Will-O-Wisp. Good Protect, yeah. I could have telegraphed that, but I don't know. What else would I have done? Terra Blast into Arcanine? I would have been at -1 anyway. Probably would have been the better play, but then if I completely ignore Golden Go and actually gets an attack, they actually just Flare Blitz, which is fine. Like, Aurora Veil plus the defense boost there means I actually don't take that much. Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. That could have been a lot worse for me, I think. Oh, sorry. I don't have the hail boost anymore because I am, or the snow boost anymore because I'm a ground type. I keep forgetting about that. It's such a weird interaction to get used to. I don't know. They weren't willing to Terra with the Golden Go. I'm almost thinking about switching out, though, here. Because if, like, Abomasnow can be fairly good into... If we KO Arcanine. I guess I could consider just targeting Arcanine here, no? But... I don't hate Blizzard and Terra Blast here again. It just feels weird. Like, I feel like I should switch, but I'm really worried about switching and then they just make it rain. And I don't KO them, so... I'd rather Blizzard and Terra Blast here. Yeah, there's the Terra this turn, though. Okay, nicely done. I think it's probably going to be Ghost Terra. Oh, Golden Gold, please, please. Yeah. I figured that was going to be the case. Like, what was my best way around it? If Terra Blast is a KO onto Arcanine, actually, I think it was worth just going for the KO onto Arcanine and then single target Blizzard into Golden Gold. But now it should survive here. Yeah. Oh, but they actually Flare Blitz into Cetitan rather than Abomasnow. So Abomasnow is going to hang on thanks to Focus Sash. Sure, and they make it rain. Yeah. Like, they didn't cover for Sash there, but it makes sense because I don't think you can actually knock out Cetitan and Abomasnow at the same time. So Cetitan faints. I'm fairly happy about its performance, though, given where we were with the leads. Like, I felt like it looked kind of rough. KO Golden Goal. Arcanine is very low HP, and now they don't have the potential to Terra either, which is good. Golden Goal is such a funny-looking Pokemon. Okay, down to bring out the Flutter Mane now. Let me just look at Dazzling Gleaming with that. I think what I'm worried about is the Paradox Delibird. Oh, I think that's what's coming out. No, actually, that is just the Paradox Hydreigon. Okay, good, good. Yeah, getting Aurora Veil up from Abomasnow is so key. Like, that's honestly a pretty major buff that it can set it up from, like, when Abomasnow used to be used way back in, like, Gen 4. Still have 2 turns of Aurora Veil. Man, I'm down to just Blizzard and Dazzling Gleam here, honestly. Maybe it would have been better to sacrifice Abomasnow, get a free switch in, but the idea is I have Aurora Veil here, so I'm not expecting to faint. They do have extreme speed, though. Okay. That in itself is actually already really bad, because I'm not sure Dazzling Gleam KOs the Paradox Hydreigon. Never mind. This thing is so broken. It's so strong. Yeah, that was a spread type attack as well. Jeez. Okay, now Iron Hands comes out. We can just Fake Out plus Shadow Ball. It's going to be Sylveon as the last one. Yeah, I mean, Hyper Voice is fairly strong into us right now, but I still have another turn of Aurora Veil. This is the last turn, so they're probably going to Protect here, but that's fine. We have Iron Head as well. They do have Protect here. Okay. I mean, it's still winnable for them, I think, if they actually manage to get a one-hit knockout onto the Iron Hands. But I don't think a single Hyper Voice should do it. They're not Choice Specs either. Specs would be the one thing I'd be worried about. Snow stops. No more Aurora Veil. Now we go for Iron Head and Shadow Ball. I targeted the wrong slot by accident there, but it still targets the right one. Alright, let's see. Can you... I mean... Oh, okay, wait, hold on. It did do less than half here, but Iron Hand survives. Okay, good. So they have Throat Spray, but yeah, Iron Head will just finish it off. That was a little bit scary in the end. If they had crit into Iron Hands, then they might actually... They probably would win unless I got a higher roll on Shadow Ball in the subsequent turn. But yeah. I think Cetitan, the ground Terra here was so huge in pressuring the Golden Goal. Like, that gave me so much value in this game. So, yeah. But what a fun set of games, honestly. It's been awesome. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. So thank you so much as always for watching. I feel like out of all the teams I featured in Scarlet and Violet so far, this is just one of the simplest yet most effective teams so far. And so, yeah, I feel like teams like this are always just a great way to quickly get acclimated with doubles and with VGC in general. And I had a lot of fun with it. We ended up winning all of our games, and in the end, Cetitan was just an absolute monster, especially combined with the Aurora Veil and the Snow defense boost plus the Assault Vest combination as well. So thank you so much as always for watching. If you enjoyed, please share your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. My name is CybertronVGC, and I'll see you all next time. All right, peace.